the invite. You didn't accept the invite. We sent you the invite for the game. You didn't accept it. Yes. What are you trying to set up? Oh. Alex, plug in her computer. Dude, plug in her computer. Fucking Christian's fat ass broke my chair. Alex, you don't have no headphone. Alex! What? Are you ready, Ash? Are you ready? Ashley's not talking. Oh, thanks. Spatula? Okay, thank you. Ash, are you gonna talk? No, you're not. You talk. You have headphones? Are they plugged in? Are you muted? The fuck? Oh, maybe it'll just fix itself. If that or you have to unplug it and plug it back in. But who knows? I can't hear it. Why can't I hear anything? Where's my audio? It's weird.
The 2026 season, allowing them to make a big splash in free agency. Kelly Olynyk and a future second-round pick to D.C. In return, New Orleans will receive Jordan Poole, Saddiq Bey, and the number 40 overall pick in this year's draft. The Wizards have acquired C.J. McCollum from the Pelicans. That is per multiple reports.
The Washington Wizards have been warning us that this could happen all year long, saying that they view Jordan Poole more as a player that they wanted to pump the value of and flip to another team, as opposed to a foundational piece. They said this in his very first season on the roster, and ultimately they proved to be right, as this NBA offseason has gotten off to a crazy start. We dropped a video on Drew Holiday being traded back to the Portland Trailblazers at midnight last night, and we're back again with another video, another trade, where Jordan Poole has been traded to the New Orleans Pelicans for CJ McCollum. Now, on the surface, this trade doesn't make a lot of sense. Why would the Washington Wizards, a team that is trying to rebuild, trade one of their younger players on a relatively good contract for a 33-year-old CJ McCollum? Well, we're going to break it all Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? Just hours ago, ESPN's Shams Charania broke the news that rocked the NBA world. The New Orleans Pelicans have traded CJ McCollum and Kelly Olynyk to the Washington Wizards for Jordan Poole, Saddiq Bey, and the 40th pick in the 2025 NBA draft. Hold on. So I know what your reaction is, and it's very confusing. The New Orleans Pelicans just traded their veteran leader for a guy who was considered to have one of the worst contracts in the NBA just 2 years ago. And Washington just gave up their leading scorer for a 33-year-old coming off of a season-ending injury. This trade on the surface doesn't make a lot of sense, but I'm going to break it all down and explain why each team made this trade. Let's start with the most important part of this trade, Jordan Poole's incredible bounce-back season that nobody saw coming. Remember when he got traded from Golden State for Chris Paul? NBA Twitter absolutely destroyed that deal, with fans saying that Jordan Poole really got traded for a 40-year-old CP3. Well, Jordan Poole ended up having the last laugh. This season, he averaged 20.5 points per game while shooting a career-high 37.8% from three. But here's the insane stat that proves his transformation. Poole set a new Wizards franchise record with 235 made threes, breaking Bradley Beal's previous mark. The guy who was supposed to be a cautionary tale about bad contracts just dropped 45 points against Cleveland and had an emotional 38-point performance in his return to Golden State. But that's not even the most important change. And what I'm about to tell you explains why New Orleans was willing to bet big on him. His teammates noticed something different. Corey Kispert said you can just tell his blood pressure's a lot lower.
Yeah, you can just tell his blood pressure's a lot lower. I couldn't imagine the kind of stuff he was dealing with his first year here. I mean, coming to a brand new team from a place to a place you've never been before, and you're asked to do like a host of different things that maybe he didn't have that role or that responsibility with the Warriors.
Highlighting how Poole completely transformed his approach and leadership style. This isn't the same player who made that infamous "it's my team" comment during the timeout in his first Washington season. Now let's talk about what New Orleans is giving up, because this is where the trade gets really interesting. CJ McCollum isn't just some aging veteran. This man averaged 21.1 points per game on 44.4% shooting during one of the worst team seasons in recent memory. Remember that 50-point explosion against Washington where he tied his career high? That wasn't just a fluke performance. That was CJ McCollum showing that he can still be a primary scoring option at the age of 33. His coach Willie Green called him rock solid even through all the losses. But here's where it gets complicated. As the NBPA president and the Pelicans' unquestioned locker room leader, McCollum was everything you want in a veteran. So why trade him? Well, this answer involves a complete organizational philosophy shift that's about to change everything in New Orleans. The brutal reality is this: McCollum is 33 years old, making $33.3 million this season and coming off of a season-ending foot injury. For a team that finished 21-61, those are the facts that you just can't ignore. And this is where most people think Washington lost their minds. Why would you trade your 25-year-old leading scorer for a 33-year-old veteran? And the answer reveals everything about modern NBA team building, and it's actually quite genius. Under Michael Winger and Will Dawkins, the Wizards are committed to sustainable contention through patient development as opposed to shortcuts. And if you take a look at their roster, Alexandre Sarr is 19 years old, Bilal Coulibaly is 20 years old, and their average age is around 22. Here's the key insight: Poole's prime years would be completely wasted during Washington's 3 to 4 year rebuild. They're building for 2028 and beyond, not 2026. By the time this young core is ready to compete, Poole would be looking for his next contract and probably wouldn't want to stay anyway. But McCollum's expiring contract in 2026? That's perfect timing. By then, Washington projects to have approximately $100 million in cap space in order to add. This patient approach mirrors